friends. Today you and I are going to practice solving two-step problems. Let's go watch our visual learning video to get started.
Analyze. Bop picked 18 flowers and then 5 more. How many flowers does he have? He gave 10 flowers to Buzz. How many flowers are left? Let's think about it. This problem has a hidden question that you need to solve first. What is the hidden question you need to answer first?
We know that Bop picked 18 flowers first, but then it says that they picked 5 more. So we have to figure out how many they had before they gave some away.
You need to find out how many flowers Bop picked in all before you can solve the problem. What is the second question you need to answer?
Then we know that Bop gave away 10 flowers, so we have to figure out their total number of flowers minus the 10, how many is left?
You need to find out how many flowers Bop has left after giving away 10 flowers. What information do you need to answer the second question?
We need to know how many flowers there were in total after picking the 5 flowers.
You need to know how many flowers Bop picked in all. Plan. You need to answer the first question to answer the second question. How can you find out how many flowers Bop had in all? You can add 18 and 5. What happens next in the story?
Then Bop gives away 10 flowers.
Bop gave away 10 of the flowers. What do you need to find out now? You need to find out how many flowers are left. Solve and justify. To answer the first question, you add 18 plus 5 to get 23. Bop picked 23 flowers. How can you solve the second question using the answer from the first question?
Now we take the total number of flowers, 23, and take away 10 to find how many flowers are left.
You can subtract 10 from 23. Bop gave 10 flowers to Buzz, so the difference is 13. Now he has 13 flowers. Evaluate. How could you check both parts of the problem? You added 2 ones to make the next 10 and added the 3 leftover ones to find 18 plus 5 equals 23. Then you subtracted 10 from 23 to get 13.
Now you know how to solve a two-question problem.
Let's grab our workbooks and do some practice problems. Okay, so we're going to be on page 410 in our workbooks. So if you need to grab your workbook and your pencil, then go ahead and pause me now and go get those items and turn to page 410. And then we're going to do this guided practice problem together. It says, solve any way you choose, show your work. Write equations to solve both parts of the problem. Carmen found 14 shells on Monday. I'm going to underline that, 14 shells. And 15 more shells on Tuesday. She found 6 more shells on Wednesday. How many shells did she have then? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up the totals for Monday and Tuesday first. That's going to be my first step. And then once I have that total, then I'm going to add on how many she picked up on Wednesday. So over here, I'm going to show my work. I'm going to add 14 from Monday plus 15 more shells that she found on Tuesday. And my answer to this addition problem is going to be my total for Monday and Tuesday. So let's see, 4 plus 5 is 9. And 110 plus 110 is 2 10s. So between Monday and Tuesday, she found 29 shells. And now this is my work, but I'm going to write my equation over here because that's something they asked me to do in the problem. So 14 plus, in these circles, you guys remember you always put a plus sign or a minus sign depending on what we're doing. And then 14 plus 15, and we got 29 as our answer. So remember, this is just for Monday and Tuesday. We still have shells that she found on Wednesday. So now I'm going to do my work over here. She had 29 shells after Monday and Tuesday, but then she also found 6 more shells on Wednesday. So I'm going to add those 6 more shells. So let's see, 9 plus 6 equals 15. So I'm going to say 5 ones down here. Take my 10 all the way up here in the tens column. Now we have 1 10 plus 2 more 10s, which is 3 10s. So my total was 35, but first I'm going to write out my equation for my total here. So 29 from Monday and Tuesday plus the 6 from Wednesday, and we got a total of 35. And last little thing, we got to write out our final answer, 35 shells in all after 3 days of picking up shells. Let's go watch one more quick video.
You've probably never thought about it this way, but problem solving can be a lot like walking. One step and then another. So I'm in my garden. I pick 12 flowers and then I pick 6 more. I then give 8 flowers to my friend Amy. Aren't I nice? But I'm also curious. I want to know how many flowers are left. I just said a mouthful, so let's break it up. What question do I need to answer first? I need to find out how many flowers I picked all together first. I picked 12 flowers, and then 6. So, 12 plus 6 equals 18. So I picked 18 flowers to start. Got it so far? Now that we've got that figured out, what do I need to find out next? Right, how many flowers are left once I give some to Amy? If I have 18 flowers total, and I give 8 to Amy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go, Amy. 18 minus 8 equals 10. Ta-da! I will have 10 flowers left. Problem solving, like walking. Made easy. Just answer one question at a time, and you'll figure it out a lot sooner than you think.
Okay, let's turn that page and do some more problems together. Let's take a peek at number 2 together. So you guys, the biggest thing with these problems is remember they are going to have 2 steps. So we always have to figure out what is the first step, what is the second step. Then we have to solve the first step first, and then we can solve the second step. So let's read at number 2 and see what our steps are. There are 6 red birds and 17 brown birds in a tree. If 8 more brown birds come, how many birds will there be in all? Okay, so there's 2 parts. Let's write out our equations first, and then we can solve. So let's see, there are 6 red birds. Now, in our total answer, they're not really asking us of what color, so I'm not really worried if it's red or brown, but there are 6 red birds first. But then there's also 17 brown birds. So we're going to add up our 6 red birds and our 17 brown birds, and that's going to tell us how many birds we have at first. Then in the second part, we're going to take our answer from the first question, and we're going to add 8 more birds, because it says, what if 8 more birds came? And that's going to give us our final answer to the problem. Now let's go do some stacking over here to help us solve. So I have 17 birds plus 6 more, 17 brown plus my 6 red. I'm going to solve this. So let's see, 7 plus 6 equals 13. So 3 ones and 1 10. And then I have 1 10 plus 1 10, which equals 2 10s. So I know that at first in this lovely tree, there are 23 birds. That's my answer to my first step. Now remember, for our second step, we need to take that 23 and bring it down here. That's going to help us start our second step of our problem. So now we know there are 23 birds, but then they said 8 more come join. So we added 8 more. Now we have to solve that equation. So I'm going to take 23 and I'm going to add 8 more. Let's see. 3 plus 8, what does that equal? 9, 10, 11. So 1, 1, 110. And then 110 plus 2 more equals 3 tens. So my total number of birds is 31 birds. That's my final answer. Pretty cool. Not too hard, you guys. You just have to slow down, write out your equations, and take it one step at a time. Let's take a peek at number 3. Oh, it's my name, ladies and gents. Oh, and they spelled it correctly. I feel so special. Let's see what I did in number 3. It says, let me scoot myself down here. Hold on one second, friends. There we go. That's better. It says Erica saw 16 frogs on a lily pad. So I saw 16 frogs on a lily pad, and I saw 8 frogs in the mud. If 7 of the frogs hop away, how many frogs will be left? So you're going to first write out your equations and figure out what the 2 steps are in your problem. Then you're going to solve your first step. Then you'll solve your second step and find your final answer. Then you're going to come back to me when you've finished all of that, and we will double check it. So go do your work. Pause me. Go do your work. Could you pause me? Are you sure? You totally done? You ready? Shall we see how many frogs I saw? Okay. There were 16 frogs on the lily pad. And then I also saw 8 other frogs in the mud. So first, I'm going to figure out how many frogs were there between the lily pad and the mud. How many frogs did I see altogether? That's my first step. Then I know that 7 of the frogs are going to hop away. Now, if something hops away, I'm not going to add it on, I'm going to subtract it. So 7 frogs hopped away in my second step. Remember, my answer to my first step is going to come down here and start off my second step. But first, I got to figure out what my answer is to my first step. So I'm going to stack up my numbers over here to show my work. Very important, ladies and gents. 16 plus 8. Okay, well, I know 6 plus 8 equals 14, which is 4 ones and 110. And 110 plus 110 equals 2 tens. So at first, there were 24 frogs that I saw in all. Now I'm going to bring my 24 frogs down here to solve my second step. There were 24, but then 7 of them jumped away. So we're going to subtract 7 from 24. So 24 minus 7. Well, let's see, 4 minus 7. I can't do that. Don't do 7 minus 4, friends. No, 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 no. You have to go from the top to the bottom with your subtraction. Okay, so make sure you don't just flip-flop the numbers. No, we have to regroup. So I'm going to cross off my 10s. I only have 1 left. And I'm bringing those 10 ones over here to make 14 ones. Now I can subtract. 14 minus 7 is 7. And 110, take away no more. 110 minus 0 tens equals 110. So after my 7 frogs jumped away, there were only 17 frogs left. That is my final answer. Let's go ahead and turn the page and do 2 more problems. Let's take a peek at number 5 together. It says solve each problem. There are 35 test questions. Kareem answers 10 of the questions. Then he answers 12 more. How many more questions does Kareem still have to answer? Okay, there's a couple steps here that we need to figure out. So first, we know that there are 35 test problems in all. And we know that he first solves 10 of them. So that sounds like a first step if you ask me. Let's write out our equation. So we start with 35 test questions. But then he does 10 of them. So if we want to figure out how many he has left, we're going to take 35 total and subtract the questions that he does. So we're going to take 35 and subtract the 10 questions that he does first. So 35 minus 10. Let's see. I bet you don't even have to do that on the side to solve that problem. I'll give you about 5 seconds to solve that. What do you think? 35 minus 10. 25. So after he solves his first 10 questions, he has 25 left. Okay. Then, which sounds like a second step, then he solves 12 more questions. And we want to know how many he still has left to do. So I'm going to take my 25 that he has left, and now I'm going to subtract 12 more. Because he's done 12 more problems now in our second step of our problem. So for this one, I am going to stack it up to the side just because it's a little easier on my brain to solve. So 25 minus 12. I don't think I'm gonna have to regroup, which is great. But let's see, 5 ones minus 2. That's 3. And 2 tens, take away 1 10 is just 1 10. So he has 13 questions left. He solved 10, then he solved 12 more, which leaves him with 13 questions left to solve. You guys did a great job today. I know those weren't easy, but remember, figure out your steps, solve the first step, then the second step, and you'll figure it out really quickly. Let's take a look at your assignment. You need to go back into our workbook and do problems 4, 6, 8, and 9, and then go do your quick check, and then go spend some time on MathFacts Pro. If you're in my class, if you don't have your 80 minutes already, you are more than welcome to spend some time on iReady, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, friends.